A growing story has taken hold across ARMY communities and is increasingly attracting attention from mainstream entertainment outlets. The rumor now gaining momentum suggests that Jimin of BTS could be connected to a major film project. Reports and discussions have fueled speculation that Hollywood may be exploring an opportunity involving Park Jimin, prompting interest from both K-pop audiences and the broader entertainment industry. At this stage, it is important to separate confirmed information from speculation. What is known is that conversations and reports linking Jimin to a significant movie project have been circulating. Entertainment media have begun covering the topic, and online searches related to Jimin and Hollywood have increased noticeably, showing widespread public curiosity. What remains unknown is equally significant. There is no confirmed information regarding the nature of the project, the studio or production company involved, the genre of the film, or whether an official offer or agreement exists. The story remains a rumor. However, it continues to gain attention because it intersects with several realities that can be verified, particularly the remarkable position Jimin currently occupies within global entertainment. Even without focusing on the rumor itself, the idea that Hollywood might be interested in Jimin during 2026 does not seem unrealistic. It is not merely a fan-driven fantasy disconnected from industry realities. Instead, it reflects circumstances that make such interest understandable when viewed through the lens of Jimin's current standing in the international entertainment market. In 2026, Jimin is far more than a member of a globally recognized K-pop group who has also achieved success through solo activities. He represents a distinct kind of entertainment figure whose influence carries substantial value for decision-makers within Hollywood. His individual commercial strength has been demonstrated repeatedly through measurable results that align closely with the metrics the film industry pays attention to. His collaboration with Calvin Klein generated $3.44 million in media impact value within 48 hours. His connection with Dior has reinforced his position as one of the most respected figures in the worldwide luxury fashion sector. Coverage from Korean media following performances on the Ararang Tour in Las Vegas highlighted his ability to lead stadium audiences across multiple nights while maintaining a level of consistency associated with elite live performers. Another example frequently cited is the social media response to a video showing him smiling at a security guard. That clip accumulated 69 million views, offering a striking illustration of the scale of public attention generated by even a simple moment involving Jimin in a public setting. Taken together, these achievements describe an individual possessing a rare combination of cultural influence and commercial power. Historically, Hollywood has shown strong interest whenever a figure reaches that level of concentrated public attention, making it reasonable to assume that industry executives are aware of his impact. There is also relevant historical context behind the possibility of Hollywood interest in Korean entertainment personalities. During recent years, the relationship between Hollywood and Korea's entertainment industry has changed dramatically in ways that would have been difficult to predict a decade earlier. The Academy Award success of the film Parasite expanded opportunities not only for Korean filmmakers but also for Korean talent across numerous creative fields. The worldwide popularity of Korean television dramas through streaming platforms demonstrated that Korean stories and performers could connect with audiences far beyond what many industry observers had once expected. At the same time, the global rise of K-pop, led more than anyone else in international conversations by BTS, showed that Korean cultural figures could achieve broad recognition in Western markets. That level of visibility makes participation in large entertainment productions commercially viable. Hollywood has closely observed these developments. The industry has adapted to a landscape in which casting a Korean artist in a leading or major supporting role no longer appears unusually risky or experimental. Instead, it can be viewed as a practical business decision shaped by talent, market appeal, and cultural relevance. Within that context, Jimin's name carries a sense of momentum that feels difficult to ignore. The idea is not necessarily surprising or unexpected. Rather, it appears increasingly plausible when considering the trajectory of his career, the accomplishments he has accumulated, and the position he currently occupies within global popular culture. As a result, the more natural question may not be whether discussions involving Hollywood could occur, but when such discussions might happen. The Ararang World Tour has served as an ongoing demonstration of Jimin's ability to captivate audiences and inspire strong emotional reactions through live performance. That capability is not limited to concert stages alone. It has the potential to extend beyond music and into other forms of entertainment. The qualities that make an artist captivating during a live performance often transfer naturally to film. Presence matters. The ability to command attention matters. There is also a particular kind of expressiveness that keeps viewers focused on one person instead of anything else within the frame. Those same characteristics are essential on screen. In Hollywood, performers are not judged primarily by formal acting instruction, theater experience, or technical preparation. What often carries the greatest weight is presence. It is that difficult-to-teach quality that allows a camera to connect with someone and makes audiences want to continue watching them. Jimin possesses that characteristic to an extraordinary degree. Looking back at the Ararang era, several moments spread far beyond the dedicated army audience and reached the wider public. One example was the video of him smiling at a security guard, which accumulated 69 million views. Another was Korean media coverage of his airport appearance, written in language more commonly associated with high-fashion editorial photography. Coverage from each stop of the North American tour followed a similar pattern. Journalists from mainstream entertainment outlets, many of whom are not known for exaggerated praise of K-pop performances, repeatedly described his stage presence in remarkable terms. These widely shared moments all have one thing in common. They captured situations where cameras and observers encountered a presence that naturally drew attention. It was not something manufactured. It was not something artificially created. It simply existed. That ability to attract attention through observation alone forms the foundation of screen presence. Throughout numerous situations documented during the Ararang era, Jimin demonstrated that quality repeatedly and consistently. The way entertainment media have discussed the Hollywood rumor is also noteworthy. Much of the coverage has centered around the phrase, "fresh off his acclaimed performances," placing the conversation directly alongside the visibility and critical recognition generated by the Ararang World Tour. This framing does not present the situation as a famous figure pursuing a personal passion project in another industry. Instead, it suggests that any genuine Hollywood interest may be connected to specific qualities displayed during this stage of Jimin's career. Industry decision-makers appear to be responding to something they have observed and found compelling. What they would have seen includes everything already mentioned. They would have seen the commanding stage presence. They would have seen the commercial influence. They would have seen the unusual level of attention generated whenever cameras focused on him throughout the Ararang era. Social media reactions measured that attention in tens of millions of views. Considering the possibility of a Hollywood project naturally raises questions about what such a production could look like. There is no confirmed information regarding any specific film. However, examining realistic possibilities helps clarify why certain types of projects may align more closely with Jimin's strengths than others. Any discussion of potential film roles remains speculation. Nevertheless, it is speculation informed by what is known about Hollywood's preferences and by the qualities Jimin could bring to a motion picture. The most obvious match, and likely the one that would create the greatest commercial excitement both within Korea and internationally, would be a project that incorporates music and performance into its story. Such a film would allow Jimin to utilize strengths already associated with his public identity, rather than placing him in a completely unrelated dramatic environment. Hollywood has a long history of success with musicals and stories connected to music. Jimin's combination of musical ability and visual appeal would provide substantial value to a project that allows both elements to play meaningful roles within the narrative. That does not necessarily mean a traditional music biography or a direct adaptation of a stage musical. It could involve many different storytelling formats where performance and music are important components of the plot. Historically, artists who have successfully transitioned from music into film often did so through projects that built upon their existing strengths. Those productions created opportunities for familiar talents to shine in a new medium rather than forcing performers to abandon the qualities that originally made them compelling. Language would also become an important consideration. Any Hollywood production involving Jimin would likely need to determine whether the primary language should be English, Korean, or a blend of both. The post-Parasite era has shown a much stronger acceptance of films made in languages other than English than existed previously. At the same time, the worldwide success of Korean dramas on streaming platforms has demonstrated that audiences are increasingly comfortable with Korean language content presented with subtitles. A project that naturally incorporated both Korean and English would likely benefit both the story and the performance. Rather than treating language as a commercial requirement, the strongest production would use that reality as a strength within the narrative itself. Streaming platforms also play an important role in this discussion because they have significantly altered the definition of a Hollywood film and reshaped who finances and distributes major productions. Netflix has invested heavily in Korean content. It also possesses a worldwide distribution network capable of supporting a Jimin film project across every major market where his audience already exists. For that reason, the company represents an obvious example of the type of organization that could have interest in talent like Jimin. A Netflix film featuring Jimin would become available to ARMY audiences around the world simultaneously on release day. It would also reach the much broader audience served by the platform. That wider audience has already demonstrated through its viewing habits that it is willing to embrace Korean content when the material is strong and when it receives the institutional backing associated with a major Netflix release. A film involving Jimin and Netflix appears commercially logical without requiring much speculation. Yet there is another issue that deserves attention. Any Hollywood production would face the challenge of accurately capturing what makes Jimin exceptional. His strengths do not fit neatly into a single category normally associated with movie roles. His command of the stage, his vocal ability, his distinctive physical expression, and the way he uses his entire body to communicate emotion are all qualities that reach their fullest form during live performances and musical recordings. A film role may or may not provide room for every one of those elements. The ideal production would recognize exactly what Jimin offers and build around those strengths. It would not ask him to imitate someone else or become something unrelated to his natural abilities. History shows that successful transitions from music into film usually happen when artists and filmmakers share a clear understanding of their goals. In those cases, the final result feels revelatory rather than experimental. If the rumors are accurate, and Jimin is discussing a major movie project, then the most important issue is likely compatibility. The central question becomes whether the project allows Park Jimin to remain fully himself while entering a different creative space, or whether it requires him to hide the qualities that make him remarkable in order to fit a traditional dramatic mold. The first possibility could lead to something truly memorable. The second would fail to take advantage of what his casting offers. If discussions are as serious as reports suggest, those involved likely understand that difference. The reaction from ARMY around the world has been enthusiastic, yet it has also shown a notable level of thoughtfulness. That detail matters. supporters consistently want positive opportunities for Jimin. At the same time, many of the most reflective voices within the community have emphasized that any Hollywood opportunity should be the correct opportunity. It should enhance his artistry rather than simply adding another achievement to his resume. It should be a meaningful story instead of a business decision disguised as creativity. That perspective reveals something significant about the relationship between Jimin and his fans. It extends beyond ordinary celebrity support. Throughout his career, Jimin has repeatedly demonstrated a commitment to artistic authenticity. He has made decisions, including difficult choices that did not always appear commercially obvious, because they aligned with his creative vision rather than the easiest available path. The Face album was not the safest option. It was deeply personal, emotionally exposed, and artistically ambitious. Yet it delivered extraordinary outcomes. Diplo's public comments regarding Jimin's creative involvement in Into the Sun also point to the same pattern. The contribution described was not that of someone doing only what was required. It reflected the work of an artist who naturally brings complete creative focus to a project, even when industry structures neither demand nor reward that level of dedication. A Hollywood film that embraces Jimin's full creative capacity and complete performance range would offer something genuinely compelling. By contrast, a production interested only in his name recognition and fan support as promotional tools would be an entirely different situation. Another important element is the growing attention surrounding the rumor itself. As entertainment reports have noted, the world is watching. That fact matters because the discussion has become part of a broader conversation about what Korean entertainment figures can achieve within the global mainstream industry. Regardless of whether this specific rumor becomes reality, the conversation carries significance. It reflects a shift in how Western entertainment institutions view Korean talent and K-pop artists compared to only a few years earlier. In 2026, Jimin stands at the center of that changing discussion because of everything generated during the Ararang era: his stage presence, his commercial influence, his critical acclaim, the 69 million views, the walking pictorial description, the concert God title, the $3.44 million generated in 48 hours, and every other documented example demonstrating what Park Jimin can accomplish when operating at the highest level of his abilities. Hollywood is watching closely. The wider world is watching as well. And Park Jimin, just as he has done throughout every previous stage of his career when opportunities aligned with his talents, is likely considering carefully what comes next. He is likely ensuring that any future step is worthy of complete commitment rather than something that asks for less. That has always been his approach. He gives everything. When the next stage eventually arrives, whatever form it takes, the camera will find him once again. It always has. And people everywhere will understand why 69 million viewers watched a brief moment of him smiling at a security guard. They will understand why 1,618 people selected him over Psy at Waterbomb. They will understand why Korean media reached beyond ordinary descriptions and turned to phrases such as walking pictorial and concert god. They will understand why Diplo sat in a recording session and felt a song become complete the moment Jimin's voice rose above a guitar line. Because he is Park Jimin. Wherever his path leads next, those qualities travel with him. As this story continues to develop, attention remains fixed on what may come next. The conversation is far from over, and every new development will add another chapter to an era that continues to produce remarkable moments.